Welcome to tonight's episode of Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel, and as always, I have a very special guest for you, Michelle Alerte, co-founder of New Women's Space. She'll be with us for the next 30 minutes, so stay with us. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Beyond Focus TV allows you to discuss contemporary topics affecting the Caribbean people on both a national and local level. The show features informed guests who offer insight, debate, and evaluate various issues. Beyond Focus TV builds on the station's mission to provide useful information to the Caribbean people in New York and abroad. Beyond Focus TV, where our viewing audience can get educated, informed, and empowered. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. Like I said, I have a very special guest for you, Michelle Alerte. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's great to have you. You know, we're doing a lot of great things. It's post-COVID. Well, can't say fully post.
Yeah.
But post enough that we can kind of get back to somewhat of a schedule and be here. So thanks for stopping by and giving us some insights. But before we even get started, I really just want to know, who is Michelle Alerte? Who are you? What's your story?
Okay, I am a native New Yorker, born and raised here in New York, in Brooklyn, and my family is of Haitian descent. And I am an artist, I'm a creative person, a writer, and have always also loved business. So that is pretty much me in a nutshell.
You in a nutshell. That's great. So kind of let's talk about how this all got started. Before New Women's Space, because that's there's always a lead up. And I've always been fascinated by that, because people, especially entrepreneurs, we have ideas of something and it's birthed from one different thing and it all meshes together. So what was your journey?
Well, I've had, like you said, several ideas. I have owned a t-shirt company where that was called Expressions, and that was different t-shirt designs that I sell my t-shirts and hats out of New Women's Space, so I still have merged those. And then I also have a photo booth company that I started called Expression Capture Kinetics, and that one is something that I still do now, but again have merged it with New Women's Space. When we host events, I also sort of add a package where they can have a photo booth company. So yeah, I've had several business ideas. I've also created a comic strip, 2 or 3 comic strips that I had help with illustrating. Yes, but I wrote the comic strip and somebody would help me to illustrate it, and have also written a romance novel, and I'm working on a second one. So there's always, like you said,
50 Shades.
No. But yeah, there's always like many ideas that I've tried that haven't worked, and some that are still here with me, and so it's just that's little by little I've made my way.
I like that, and we're actually going to touch upon that, because you said something very important. You know, you tried something and it didn't work, you just keep on going. So how do you know and continue that drive to keep going? Because you tried and it didn't work, and you know, some people, that failure and rejection is enough for them to, this isn't for me, I need a 9 to 5, I like the stability. Yes, we all like the stability, but let's really talk about that, because that is the true essence of an entrepreneurial spirit, is being able to fall off the horse and just keep going. Okay, that idea didn't work, let's keep going.
Yeah, it is a very difficult thing to do, but I think it took me a while to actually accept the fact that I don't want to work in a 9 to 5 format, or that I don't want to work for somebody else. And so, because the world around you is, most people are working a regular job, and so it feels as though this is what you should do. And so it took a while for me to just accept the fact that that's not for me, and so I have to just allow that to be true, and then figure out how to go from there. And so it is a little hard to allow your failures to be something that you learn from and keep moving with. But when I think I accepted the fact that no, I don't want to be working a 9 to 5, so it helped me to realize that's no longer an option. I will not just decide to quit and do some regular sort of job. And that was a real good turning point for me, because it helped me to feel like, well, if you're not going to just quit and go work for somebody else, then you just have to keep figuring it out. Yeah. So that was helpful. Sort of the idea of burning your boats, and therefore now you have no choice but to win the war.
Yeah,
So.
you have to swim. You have to swim. Kind of let's talk about that little bit of stability that you lose when you don't have that 9 to 5. So a lot of times, and I've interviewed so many people who still, the hardest part is letting go of that.
Yeah.
You know, you love your side job, but you want to make that side thing your full-time thing, and then you leave it, and it's like, in 2 weeks, I'm not going to have that direct deposit hit.
Yeah, yeah.
So as somebody who's lived that, how do you kind of overcome that?
I mean, I have had to do temp jobs.
Yeah.
I've done that to help me make sure that I'm, filling in
Of
the
course.
gaps and things like that. So I think it's just being flexible in how you decide to earn money and allowing it to not have to come in the exact way that it does for everybody else or the way that you think it will, and just being flexible is really the biggest thing, is sort of letting yourself be okay with the uncertainty of, I don't know exactly where my next paycheck will be coming from, and sort of living in that scary uncertainty, but still coming up with different ideas and ways that you can find the next
I love it.
bit of money.
And then, boom, next woman's, new woman's space.
Yeah.
Birth that. So let's talk about that.
So that started in 2016 in response to the election that was going on in that year. And it was very clear that there needed to be a space that was safe and inclusive for women, people of color, and those in the queer community that felt very much unseen and unheard. And so from there, it became very clear, even though it started as a 30-day pop-up, so something that was meant to be, just there and gone, just a place for people to feel that they could come and be safe and talk about their emotions. But it was very clear that this was a really needed aspect for the community, and so it just has continued to grow because it has become so clearly something necessary that everybody is always talking about the importance of it and how it's helped them, or they've been able to host events that they were never able to host before, or they were able to have different kinds of events like sex positive events or activist events that are difficult for them to find places to host this. And so it was very clear that this is something that was important.
Absolutely. And that's great that you could actually make that happen.
Yeah.
And that something from a little pop-up that was intended to not even be permanent.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel?
It's nice to know that what you are giving to the community, the service that you want to give, is really a value. And so it feels good to know that you're not just selling a product, like you're just sort of adding more to the capitalism of the world, but instead it's actually offering a service that really is helping people.
Right. Absolutely. Because just knowing that you are making a difference, like you said, so many different communities are invited to be a part of this space.
Yeah.
So that's great. And that's how you sustain it 4 years later. And funny, we're in the midst of another election again. So it's like anniversary
even
time.
More,
it's
yes,
like
it's
even
like
more. We are going to need this space. But hold that thought. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. So, Michelle, what do you enjoy most about having this space?
What I love most is the people that I get to meet. I am a people person. I love to connect with other artists and other people that are creative and have grand ideas and plans. And so what I love is getting to meet different photographers and web designers and people that are putting these unique events together, and they come and want to use our space. And because it is for women and people of color and those in the queer community, it's a very like-minded group. So I am not working with people that have misogynistic ideas or that are not inclusive or intolerant people. So it's a warm, welcoming space, and so you're able to really make some great connections, and I love that.
Oh, for sure. And choosing to limit the audience and also being the co-founder, gives you a little bit of, you get to control the narrative to a certain degree. And if you don't, like you said, you don't want misogynistic people, you don't want closed-minded people, you're looking to create a safe, positive, open space. So if you don't agree with that, you just don't need to be here.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it makes it very nice to be able to know that when you are coming to an event at New Women's Space, or when we are putting together some programming for the community, that it is going to be a place where people that are usually unheard are able to sort of bring their art, or to bring their voice, or to bring themselves into the world and feel that they're seen. So it's nice.
So let's talk about the space itself, because everybody at home has not seen the space.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the space. Give me a verbal, visual, create the atmosphere.
Let's see. Let me paint the picture.
Paint the picture.
It is actually, it's 2 floors. And so when you walk in, we have a cafe in the front. And then we have some seating areas that we use for co-working or also for classes. So different kind of classes that we offer to the community. And then we have a backyard area.
Oh, wow.
That is pretty spacious, and we'll have some filming sometimes that goes on there, and watch parties, stuff like that. And then you'll go downstairs. And the downstairs is where we will have different sort of meditation or yoga classes that has wood floors. And it's also, again, a very spacious, the whole space is 2,100 square feet.
Oh,
so it's a pretty large space. And then we have things that are very movable. So none of the furniture is very fixed. We have it so that you can move it around for every event. You're able to, create a different feeling, a different atmosphere. And it's a very warm and cozy lighting. We have some purple lighting to help give some mood. It's very nice.
Yeah, and from what you described, it's perfect.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely have the website so people can check it out, and you can definitely see more at your spare time, of course, which is good. So do you also work with interior decorator, people who come in and just totally transform? What are some of the most memorable events that people have hosted there and for you stand out that you remember, oh my God, this happened and we did this?
One of them was a marketplace event that we, used to do when it was okay to have a lot of people in the space. And that
More than 10
would be,
people.
Yeah. And that would be a lot of different vendors, women vendors, or those in the queer community would be able to come and sell their products. And that would always bring a lot of people in, and it would feel very much like sort of a flea market or farmer's market sort of feel, and people would be wandering around and would have, something from the cafe and be just mixing and mingling, and that was a really nice day-long event. And we'll probably be bringing that back again, obviously, as things settle down. That was an excellent event that happened actually every other month we would have it, so it was a pretty regular thing. Another wonderful event that we had pretty recently, right before the pandemic happened, it was a photo gallery where a black photographer had taken a lot of wonderful pictures of around Brooklyn and of people, portraitures and things like that. And so that was a pretty packed event where people went downstairs and were able to see all the photos, and then upstairs was where people were chatting and grabbing drinks and hanging out. And so that was also a really nice event that we had.
For sure. And you mentioned the pandemic, so let's kind of shed some light on that. And how did you have to pivot, you and your team, from having these grand events there to now the space is, it's not at the capacity that it's functioning. Nowhere is.
Yeah.
So how are you operating right now?
We had to move everything virtual. So we have created a virtual membership. That is something that we created to help us to maintain money coming in. And we have created a lot of virtual events. So now we will have maybe 18 to 20 virtual events a month. So that people can
that's almost on a daily basis.
Yes, yeah. We have a lot of events going on all the time at different times of the day, so that people can feel like they still have things to go to and places to connect and people to talk to. So we've been doing that. And then we also created an iFund campaign in order to fundraise, because of the fact that we are officially, we've been for a while closed. Officially, we're beginning to soft open in September. But while we were closed, we weren't able to make as much for rent. And so we were using savings that we had. And now, because we are running low on that, we are created the iFund campaign in order to be able to bring in.
Please share with us the link.
Yeah, so that one it's ifund.com/newwomanspace. So, and I'm sure that I can share it with you afterwards.
Absolutely.
To make it a clickable link.
We'll make it clickable.
Yeah.
We'll have it at the bottom of the screen, because that's definitely going to be important. You know, we need the support. This is something for the community. And to have that information available is going to be great, because many people don't realize, you know, if you're closed for, some places have been closed 100 days already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw a post today, like, I've officially been closed 100 days.
Yeah.
And if you were hanging on a thread before, and then you go, you know, calculate being closed.
Yeah, it's rough.
Not many landlords are working with you.
No. Thankfully, our landlord has been very kind in that they will often let maybe 2 months go by, and then they'll ask for 1 month rent. So it does allow us a little time to accumulate something. And then thankfully as well, we did have some savings, so we were able to pay some money. But yes, since March, we have also been closed. So it's been a while. It's a little tough to, you know, make money.
It is, but at least with the virtual events, and you're trying to get creative with that, there could be some positive things coming out of that.
Yes.
And it leads into the challenges. I was going to ask some of the challenges, aside from the obvious with, you know, COVID and all that stuff. You know, there are a lot of different challenges of being an entrepreneur, having your own business. So when you come back from break, we're going to go into that question. Definitely want to just get your insights and let everybody know that it is real. You know, there's a lot going on, but it's still doable. You're still doing it. So hold that thought. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. I'm Lydia Patel. So, Michelle, right before the break, we were talking about what are some of the challenges that you are facing, aside, like we said, the financial, and that's the biggest thing. What are some of the other challenges pre-COVID that you were facing before?
It's always a challenge just to keep creating things that the community is interested in, to make sure that the offerings that we have are ones that are of value to the community. So that's always a bit of a challenge, making sure that we stay in touch with the community to know what it is that they are most interested in. And for classes that we offer, that becomes challenging in that we want to know what is it that people are looking to learn about. You know, what class would actually bring value to most people, which is hard to do as well. And then I think it's just the fact that you own your own business. It's always a challenge in that it's never done. You know, there's always more work to be done. There's always something else to happen, and you are the one that is responsible for it, and you have to make sure that you stay on top of everything. There's nobody that can let you slide.
Right.
You know?
You don't just punch in and punch out.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll be working essentially all the time, and you have to then make it a point for yourself to have time to power down.
Yes.
And separate. Is that something that you've actively been working on to make sure you separate and do take time to be like, okay, this is Michelle time.
Yes.
This is Michelle's business time.
Yeah, I've been definitely, that's something that it's still a challenge and probably will always be, because I do love what I do. So it becomes hard because it feels like you're not working. So it's easy to just keep doing it all the time. But I have been trying to not answer emails or phone calls on the weekend. That's something that I used to do, but then it would feel like there's no weekend because you're always doing something. So I would make sure to do that. And then also not answering emails when it's, at 8. And so sometimes you'll still get somebody who is going to an event the next day, or they have a question about an event, and so they'll email, and I'll feel like, I'd better answer them so they can not feel that they, are panicking, not knowing the answer, but then I have to remind myself, okay, you can answer them in the morning, so
Yes.
it's just making sure that I don't overextend myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the biggest takeaways is just knowing how to not overextend and still give good customer service.
Yeah.
But not wearing yourself out too thin either. How do people at home get in contact with you? Of course, that's the most important thing because everybody is going to need to know how to donate, see the space, all that good stuff.
Yeah. So the easiest is on Instagram or our website. We are New Woman Space, which is WOMEN. So New Women Space. And so they can find us on our website, which is newwomenspace.com. Instagram, we're New Women Space as well. And so it's very easy to contact us on those platforms. Facebook, the same, New Women Space. And so I would say that any of those platforms are an easy way to contact us. On our website, we have a page for you to contact us directly, and we also have our email address there and things like that.
Absolutely. And no, that's good. So at least you're very reachable. You're on social media, you have your website.
Yeah.
If there's anyone at home who has ideas or content, is there any particular things that you are looking for? You mentioned you work with artists.
Yeah.
Who else are you kind of working with?
Well, we are looking to definitely offer more classes that are photography-based, web design, and we are definitely looking for more instructors that are women of color and that are in the queer community. I feel like we often do not get enough women of color that come to teach, and those that are in the queer community. So those are most specifically what we're looking for all the time. But yeah, we are looking for dance instructors, photographers, web designers, people that are writers that can teach some writing workshops. So really, there's a wide range, and if anybody can think of the sort of skills that they have and decide, you know what, I think I could probably teach something like this, then,
Right.
it's a great thing to do.
Yeah, and it's just something great because you're bringing that. It's a different flavor. You're in a safe space.
Yeah.
And now with the virtual, how have the virtual classes been going?
Those have been going very well. We will have maybe 20 people max at each virtual event.
Using Zoom?
Yes, yeah, we use a Zoom, and lately we've actually begun having the hosts come into New Woman Space in Brooklyn and film there with maybe 2 or 3 other people, so that it feels a little more interactive, and then we still, stream it on Zoom, but it just feels like you're not just sitting and watching the computer, but you're actually seeing people that are actually interacting, so it feels a little different.
That's great. And if it's a limited amount of people, it's still safe.
Yeah.
And all that, so it'll be great. Next, is there a schedule of upcoming classes or anything like that?
Yeah, well, we have a trivia night, a 90s trivia night that's going to be happening towards the end of August. We also have a comedy show that's happening the last Saturday in August as well, and that is for female comedians, comedians of color, those queer comedians. And so that is also something we're trying to create a safe space there for people to be able to come and perform. We also have been having a feminist self-defense class that happens every Tuesday. And so that's something that...
Specifically for feminists?
Well, no, it's more just about the fact that it's not only about self-defense, but the instructor also sort of talks about being embodied and what it feels like to be in your body and to create your own boundaries. So that is sort of built into the class as well. Yeah.
I was like, oh, they only want feminists. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's still open for everybody. But that's great. Why don't you give us the website one more time so they will be able to go and check that out?
Okay, our website is www.newwomenspace.com, and woman is WOMEN, so newwomenspace.com.
Perfect. Any final words, anything that you really want the Beyond Focus family to take home when they watch this?
I would say, I I would love for more people to come visit our space, and also if you are interested in supporting a space that is for people of color and women and those in the queer community, to please donate to our iFund campaign, because of course that is a wonderful way to help us ensure that we will be able to stay open until all of this pandemic clears up.
Absolutely. And I'm sure people are wondering at home, can they rent the space for things that are of their personal, like they doing a gender reveal, they're doing birthday parties, outside of what you normally would do? Could somebody do a private booking?
Yes, yeah, we do that a lot as well. So we've had a lot of baby showers, gender reveals, as you said. We've had weddings at the space. We've also had a lot of birthday parties. So we're around for any kind of event that somebody may have.
Perfect. Just wanted to make sure, because that's what makes it all fun. People want to have a great space to be able to do their events. So Michelle, thank you so much. It's been great having you here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
And we will definitely be in touch and let you know exactly how we can get more people involved and keep supporting this great space.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
was really glad to be here.
Great. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. I'm your host, Lydia Patel. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back again next week. Same time, same place. You're watching Beyond Focus TV. Stay with us. Beyond Focus TV show wants and needs your feedback. Did we blunder? Please let us know so we can improve. Was the show helpful to you? Drop us a note so we can share the success with our staff members. Is there something you think we could do better? We welcome new ideas and new approaches to old ideas. Do you have a great suggestion? Let us know and we'll work on it. If you would like to share your comments anonymously, please send us an email at info@beyondfocusmedia.com. If you want to get in touch with the executive producer directly, send him an email at gene@beyondfocusmedia.com. We really look forward to hearing from you.